Failure is best heard through a secondhand story, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
And I'm here today with Sean Castrina.
You want to start a business where you can see it being in business 20 years from now. Piedmont Solar. I mean, don't make it so hard that people don't know what it is you do, because you're going to spend so much money on marketing just to tell them what you do. Your name should get rid of the mystery. Make it easy for yourself. I prefer not to compete with AI, Amazon, or software, because that's not my area of giftedness. Now, you got to understand where your area of giftedness is. First part of my business plan is convincing myself and or my investors that the idea will work and be profitable. Yell loud and yell often. That's my philosophy of marketing. Yell loud and yell often.
You're listening to the Real Business Connections Network. Real Business Connections Network. Powered by Balbert Marketing, LLC. Subscribe now and check us out at realbusinessconnections.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone, once again to Real Business Connections. This is 15-Minute Friday, easy to implement business tips for busy people. And I'm here today with Sean Castrina. Sean, what's happening, brother?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. It's good to be here.
I was thinking, because I only have you for a short bit, let's try to create a business plan in 15 minutes or less. Is it possible?
We can do that. Yeah, I wrote the world's greatest business plan, so I think the book we'll just take the book and break it into 15 minutes.
And I'm going to quickly introduce you. You wrote the world's greatest business plan. You're a serial entrepreneur. You've started over 20 companies in the past 20 years. You set to start a new one pretty much every year. Authored 4 best-selling books. I personally read 8 Unbreakable Rules for Startup Success. That's one of the main books I read before I started my most recent company. So thank you for that. And your podcast is one of the best business podcasts on earth. 10-minute entrepreneur podcast. So you know your stuff, and let's try to do it. So we're starting a business. What kind of business should we start?
Okay. This is me. Now, everybody can have something different, but I prefer not to compete with AI, Amazon, or software, because that's not my area of giftedness. Now, you got to understand where your area of giftedness is. You want to start a business where you can see it being in business 20 years from now. I don't look for anything trendy. I'm a Warren Buffett, philosophy. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, this is a durable idea. I want a business that if I went into a restaurant and I stopped at 10 tables, 6 of 10 would say, yeah, that's something I could see myself buying in the next year, the next month. Like, I don't want to sell yachts. I'm not trying to sell yachts and airplanes where, you only need to sell one. I want something that people need regularly.
Give us a few examples. It sounds like a service-based business.
I love service-based business as a general rule because it doesn't compete with AI in most cases. The margins are great. Like if you now there's some where there's not, like house cleaning's not, landscaping is not your ideal, but there are ones where there's really nice margins, like solar, garage doors, heating and air, plumbing, bathroom remodeling, tile, things of that nature. And I own a company in nearly every one of those. The margins are amazing where, a typical employee is making about $30 an hour on average, and you're billing them out at between 95 and 120. So you just, you do the math, it gets silly. So all you have to do is create the mechanism of bringing in the work. If you can kind of create I always say, if you can yell loud and yell the most, yell loud and yell often. That's my philosophy of marketing. Yell loud and yell often. Just be really out there nonstop where your target audience would be, of course. And you bring the work in with those type of margins. I don't know how you don't make money.
You yell loud, you yell often, you build a team, and then you service the people that hear it and need you. And let's use solar can solar be the business we build today, or would you like to build it?
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. Solar's fine. We could build, there's no service business we couldn't build right now.
Let's do one you haven't done before. So all
right, solar. Solar's the only one. We're getting ready to launch it in like the next 30 days. So
you got it.
Solar could be it.
You got it. And it actually is the future. It's service-based.
Yeah.
Where do I start? Do I start with a logo? Presume that's not the
Yeah.
first place I go, right?
I think, when you're doing a business plan is kind of your strategy. It's not going to, it's not the 10 commandments. It's kind of the strategy of why this business, how I'm going to run it, how I'm going to do it. So why? I want to make sure, okay, in my area, I have no competition or I have one big competitor. So I'm going to niche right in behind, niche in with that or share business with that competitor. So, the first part of my business plan is convincing myself and or my investors that the idea will work and be profitable. That's the first part of that business plan. Whatever it takes for you to do that, where you're like, okay, this business has been out there for 5 years. They have this beautiful office. I just got an estimate from them. They were going to charge me $40,000 to do, solar. Experience your competition and really know, okay, they're doing it. I can do it better. I can do it differently, or I can just match them. It doesn't hurt to be Hardee's. It's not your first place you'd go to for fast food, but I don't, they're out there and they've been around for a long time. So you don't always have to be the number one, the number, you don't have to. It sounds bad that you don't have to be number one, but the reality is in business, you're not always going to be number one. Very rarely are you going to be. But so lay out your business plan where you have laid all the numbers out and you're convinced based on the data that you've looked at that this is the right business where you're located. Example, if I'm out in, Alaska, I don't know if solar would be ideal. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really make sure it works for where you're at. Then I want to look at the products. I want to, I want to research the products that I'm going to be selling. Are they hard to install? Do I need a certification? Do I need to go to a school to do it? Do I have to follow some guidelines by them? I mean, you can get yourself into a mess. So first, that you're doing your due diligence. Why this business? That's done. Now you start putting the actual game plan together. What am I going to call it? I always say, pick a name that, that doesn't limit you. Joe's Solar, you can go a little Mid-Atlantic Solar, United Solar or whatever. Just try to think a little bit bigger with your name. Make sure you can, of course, get the domain for it. Don't pick a name that you can't get the domain for. The two have to go hand in hand. Don't make the name so confusing that people don't know what it is you do. People can get so cute with their name, like Radiant Services. I don't know what the hell that is. No, Solar Services of the Piedmont. Piedmont Solar. I mean, don't make it so hard that people don't know what it is you do, because you're going to spend so much money on marketing just to tell them what you do. Your name should get rid of the mystery. Make it easy for yourself. Make the name, should do that. So you got your domain, you got your name, you got your domain, you got your products that you're going to buy from. So you know that you can get the inventory. So when you start getting jobs, you have it. Next, you want to make sure that you can staff it. This is important. So run some ads for people that have done solar. See what it is. See how hard it would be, or find out what it would take to install, solar. Make sure you can put a team on the field. The example is, I own a lot of home service companies and I wanted to do appliance repair. I couldn't get my Viking fixed. It was like crazy waiting like 2 months to get somebody to do it. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm doing my own appliance repair. Then I tried to hire people and I did not know that every single manufacturer has their own certifications. So you got to be like certified in, Viking, and then you go all the way down the line of all these, General Electric, and then you got LG, and you got a lot of them. So, and then you got to have all these parts on your van. And I'm like, no, that doesn't fit my model. That's way too hard. I want to be able to go to Lowe's, Home Depot, pick up whatever it is, and or have one direct manufacturer that I deal with. But in that case, you don't need, somebody calls you, there's 10 different brands they could have. What if your guy's not certified in that? You don't have any of the parts there. It's going to take a month to get the parts in. So it didn't work. So beta test out that you can get the employees to fulfill what it is, the solar. Typically they're going to be working on roofs. Okay. So there are people that can work in heights. So you're going to want to have somebody who can, it's typically going to be somewhat roofing related. So I want to make sure that I can staff it. Then I need to figure out how I'm going to make the phone ring. So what is my plan to market it? Am I going to do paid ads? Am I going to do, traditional marketing, radio, TV, whatever the case may be? All advertising works with the right message and the right offer. Okay. If it reaches your target audience. I always said I've made millions of dollars off Tiger Woods advertising on Saturdays and Sundays of golf events. That's my typical high-end homeowner is golf. So figure out how you're going to market it. We picked the name. We're going to brand it by yelling often and loud. We're going to have a name that people remember and they're going to know what it is we do. Then we're going to do advertising, whatever we decide that would be best for our target customer. An idea is to see what your competitor's doing. They've been in business, 20 years and they look like they're doing well. They got new vans and all this. Yeah, copy them. Copy them. You don't have to try to reinvent the wheel. Just have better offers. Just look at what they did and improve it. You don't have to be an original on everything. So I figured out I could staff it. I've got that in place. I got my products in place where I'm going to get the solar from. I make sure they're credible, their warranty. I want to make sure that it's easy to get a product back from them. If I have an issue, I really want to make sure that I'm not making a pact with the devil on my supplier. Really, I'm telling you, you'll be out of business so fast with reviews. You sell a crap product. You're putting them up there. You got to take them down. Your manufacturer won't give you new ones. They give you this dog and pony show about, getting new stuff. You're going to be in a mess. So you're going to make the phone ring. And then it's just a matter of your back office. Who's going to handle the money, right? Somebody's got to, you need to take care of the money and make sure it's going in all the right places, paying your bills and things of that nature. But there, and that's your team. You start again. Now we're going deeper on our team. We have our installation team, and then we have our back office team, and that could be with just one person. They're answering the phone. They're the ones that are, running QuickBooks or whoever you're using, and just always make sure you have somebody who's looking over whoever's handling the money. Rule: whoever's handling the money has somebody that they're accountable to, whether it's a CPA that comes in every 2 months and looks over your books. There's so many things they can do. They can void checks and then make the checks out to them. I had that happen. I did payroll one day and it didn't go through. And I'm like, there's no way possible. And my in-house book, who was working, writing the checks out of the office, she was voiding checks and then writing them to herself. So things like that. They're all the horror stories that you have.
When you talk about this all the time, it's learning from experience. And the wise people don't always have to go through the horror story if they can learn from other people's experiences.
Yeah, I always tell people, listen to me, failure is best heard through a secondhand story, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
That's right. I wanted to ask you about offers because you mentioned it a couple of times, and I'm just curious. I'm yelling loudly. How do I ensure that I'm yelling the right thing? I feel like the offer is very important. What are you looking at when you're making that offer? I think
there's two things, actually. Number one is example. If I yell to people who live in apartments, it doesn't matter what my offer is. They don't own the house. So the solar is completely irrelevant. So make sure that you're yelling in the direction of people that need what it is you have. Okay. That's pretty simple. In other words, going to apartments and maybe mobile homes and lower income homes is probably not the best strategy. So you need typically homeowners, top 50% of incomes, home values. So like if you would do a postcard mailer, which is probably what I would do for solar, I would definitely do a postcard mailer to that top tier of homes. And I would beta test it, probably do like 1,000 postcards at first, even before I got going, just to see if there was an interest. And then I would just tell people we're a little bit behind, probably going to get to you. We're going to do your estimate here in the next week, but probably not going to do the install for like 6 weeks. I would beta. I wouldn't even have a live company at that. It would be looking like the real thing, but just to see if it works. So beta testing would not be a bad idea. And an offer, what would it take to make somebody move today? That's your offer. In other words, can you do can you do some type of financing? Can you get a financial institution to work with a lot of, credit from A to Z, not completely at the bottom. Maybe you can even get a kickback for that relationship, which, would not be uncommon. You got to, an offer is just something that it's hard for them to refuse. An offer is something that at least it intrigues them. Example, what if I could save you $400 on your electric bill? That's it. We will guarantee that we save you $200 or more on your electric bill. There can be a disclaimer, assuming that your electric bill originally started at $450. Some little disclaimer you can put in there. But okay, I can save you money on your electric bill. What if I can make it so that this over 20 years doesn't cost you a penny? Again, going back to the electric, something like that. I would be open to that. What if I can, help you save the environment and save money? Okay. Again, you're just making an offer that gets somebody's attention or makes them move. Either one is a win. Got their attention. Now in person, I got to make them move. Okay. Or, it's such a good offer. I got their attention and they're really, ready to buy, pretty quick.
And you've already beta tested. I mean, realistically, if you can save them money and save the environment, it's just embedded in that business that it's going to work. And you were saying before, let's imagine you and I only had 1% of the market share. That could even be big enough in solar to be millionaires. We don't have to be the biggest solar on earth, do we?
You don't have to be. Listen to me. Be top 3 in your area. You're going to do okay. In most areas, assuming you're in an area of 100,000 homes or more, you're going to do fine. I mean, the margins are amazing. In home services is amazing. I have made millions of dollars, and this is a guy who doesn't know the difference between 2 screwdrivers. I've made millions of dollars with a handyman company, millions of dollars with a kitchen and bath company, millions of dollars with a roofing and siding company. I mean, I can keep going. Okay. Millions of dollars with a flooring company. I mean, you just keep going down the line. Every one of them I've cha-chinged. Margins are great in all of them. Labor is, every one of those labors between probably $25 and $40 an hour. That's a tile guy be like 40, but I'm billing it out at 120. So every hour that he works, I make $80. I typically always want to be at a 3 times margin. If you want, the internal math is I'm always wanting my labor income to be 3 times whatever I have to pay a person. And then by the time I do gas, insurance, all the little things, I'm going to net 50.
And then you can spend more money on ads if you need to.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I just bought a Super Bowl ad for where we're at. I just bought the AFC and NFC championship game. So again, I scream really loud. Because I know it's my target. The Super Bowl just hits everybody. What I like about Super Bowl ads, everybody, because you can buy them regionally. They're not as expensive as you think. You could probably buy one in your area for $10,000 to $15,000. If you're not LA, Miami, or whatever. But if you're in a typical town, I'm sure I guarantee you can get it for under 25. It's they only get like 4 of them, and I've just been doing it so long. They always reach out to me like 8 months in advance. So, and I will purchase that. What I like about it is it gets rid of the low end buyers because they know if you're running a Super Bowl ad, you're legit and you're probably not poor. You're not running a low end business. So to me, everybody goes, man, Super Bowl ads, how does that work for you? I go, it eliminates all the people that can't afford us. Gets rid of them right away. They're like, man, they run Super Bowl ads. They must be expensive. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're not the bottom. Yeah, we're not the bottom tier.
One final thought, because I know we both got to run. One final thought. You're not doing this all on your own. You find partners, right?
I've got partners in everything. Talk
about that, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know 2 kinds of hammers.
I'm just going to give you, what formula did Musk use, Gates use, Warren Buffett use? I mean, I can keep going all the way down the line. Microsoft, to obviously Gates and Apple. I mean, you can just keep going down the line. They all use partnerships.
Yeah,
all partnerships. I mean, guys as smart as Bill Gates, Elon Musk, if you watch the book, I mean, if you watch the movie, Facebook did it as well. And so Twitter, I mean, you go all the way down. The smartest people used partnerships. So I have partners in in my companies. Now you can partner with people in a lot of different ways. You can split the entire company, which is typically what you're going to do if somebody's carrying 50% of the load. I've been in it long enough where I've been able to bring in partners now. They have no equity in the company at all. They have 50-50 profit sharing. So they're making money, most of them are making, $100 to probably $280,000, my partnership group. So in kitchens and baths, I have a partner. In roofing and siding, I have a partner. He's going to be the same person overseeing solar because solar is roofing. It's up on the roof. So they go hand in hand. I have a handyman painting company. They go kind of hand in hand as well. I got a partner in that. In flooring, I have two partners because we have a really large area. And so one has one direction and one has the other direction. I own a digital marketing company, a great digital marketing company. And I have a partner in that company because I don't know how to spell, digital. But I have a partner in that. And it's an incredible digital marketing company. So I'm a partner in that. I have a partner in real estate. All different people. I was like, today I have eight partners. I'm working on my will. I'm updating my will. So I have to kind of let everybody know where all the money is and who gets what and how do we dissolve all this. So it's my January 2024 project. So that's why I'm very keen to all the people I have to list and that. So I love partners. Again, the key to partnering is partner with somebody who without them, you could not do the business. It's, unless it's a buddy and you're just getting out of college, okay, that allows you to do whatever you want. If it works, great. If it doesn't, so what? Barring that situation, I like the formula 1 + 1 = done. It has to be somebody who brings so much to it that you couldn't do it without them. Every one of those people, I could not run those companies without them. I could have never launched them. They all are experts in those different businesses. I'm good at making the phone ring. I'm good at infrastructure, the office end of it, hiring. That's kind of my strength. But the day-to-day operations of any job site, I wouldn't even know what I was looking at.
So you find an operator.
Yeah, exactly. In each of those things. So I'm a big fan of partnering. So partner with somebody that without them, either without their financial part of it or without their, what they bring to the table, their skill level, you literally couldn't get the business off the ground. And if somebody's giving you money, if you can, man, hold on to 51%. You don't want to have a fight over every decision because especially somebody who just gave you the money and they're not in the operations, everything's going to be a pain in the rear end. So they're going to try to guard every dime because it's their money and you're going to need money to grow the company. There's going to be this constant. So as best as you can, when you take money, see if you can structure it as a loan that you can buy out their equity even. Like, okay, it starts out 50-50, but you have 5 years to buy them out at a predetermined price that, is very generous to them. They made, a very good return on their money, 15% per year. But try to get a predetermined buyout. So you use the equity as kind of collateral. If I don't buy you out in 5 years, we're 50-50 partners. But if not, I have this dollar figure that I can buy you out in 5 years with. And if you do, they made a great return on their money, but you're not in business with them forever. So that's one way to structure it.
It's a great way to do it. Sean,
yeah, it works well.
Sean, I'm already an advocate for what you do, what you teach. The listener wants to jump on board and learn more. Where can we send them? Where's a good place for the listener to learn
10-minute
more
entrepreneur podcast, I think, is the best place to go. I'm on Instagram and got one of them blue check marks. But I think really listening to the 10-minute entrepreneur podcast, you get quick little stuff like this, 10 to 15 minutes, and everything is, operational. You're gonna be able to listen to it and then go do it.
You even talked about Tiger King and personal branding. That was fun too. I heard that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got some great episodes.
Well, thanks again, Sean. Be well. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.